My parents were dirt poor and asked me for my help. Now I'm kicking them to the homeless shelter. Last year, my mom and dad were hiding something from me that ruined their lives. For as long as I knew, my parents were honest, hardworking people. They never missed a bill, worked on the community garden, and always looked after all my cousins. But in their later years, after I graduated college, things got ugly. I had to find out from other family members that my parents were drinking more, and they could no longer trust them around their children after they physically disciplined someone else's child. Then I would visit them and find out they were behind on bills and were blowing their money on God knows what. It was a miracle they were still somehow living in their house because they were both fired from their jobs. Then I learned what was really going on. I got a call from my grandpa one day, an 86-year-old man with Alzheimer's, in tears, saying that he was being evicted from his senior citizen home. I asked him how that was possible because he had all the money he needed to support himself. He said he had no clue and he had no place to stay. So I offered him to live with me and moved in all his stuff to my home myself. When I visited my parents to ask where my grandfather's money went, it was immediately obvious. The house was filled with junk food all over the place, empty bottles, and expensive clothing. I asked my parents to be honest with me if they stole Grandpa's money, and they told me, it's not like he's gonna be able to take any of it to the grave. I argued with them over and told them they were throwing their life away doing God knows what, and they were hurting people. That's when they told me what was going on. They had a massive gambling debt, about $1 million that they'd never be able to pay off. They spent all the money beside their living expenses trying to win bigger to pay off the debt, but they only lost more and more. I told the two of them that they had a gambling addiction that needed to be taken care of. They agreed, and I foolishly believed they would actually try to change. I moved in with them for a bit to take care of everything. I cleaned up their home for them, paid off whatever bills I could, and held onto their credit cards and whatnot so they couldn't spend anything. For the first 2 months, I could see they were actually trying to get their lives fixed. They started working at a grocery store to get back on their feet, and they were using their employee discounts to get groceries. It finally seemed like my parents were going to get back to how they used to be. I figured that on month 3, I'd get them a little something to congratulate them on their 3-month sobriety achievement. But when I went to buy a cake, at the register, my credit card declined. I tried another card. Declined. Another. Declined. Every single card in my purse was completely declined. Keep in mind, I have 3 cards that have limits of $50,000. When I got back home, my parents acted completely normal, like they didn't steal over $250,000 from me. I confronted them about it and they got super defensive, saying, "You think we're criminals? We're your parents." So I called the bank and put them on speaker to tell me where my recent credit card charges were from. All casinos and pawn shops. I hung up the phone and dialed 911 right then and there. I really did hesitate, but then I remembered how they made my grandfather homeless and how they stole all my money, especially knowing I have a child. I couldn't take it anymore, so I called and had them arrested. Now I'm in therapy and I've been prescribed stress medication. My therapist says to deal with one gambler is stressful enough, but both parents? That's the kind of stress that'll take your life.